I'm Sydney.
I'm Ivy.
And I'm Sophie.
We're part of the journalism staff, and we've been working hard on your book all year.
When you're seeing this, your books will have already been passed out. We hope you're enjoying seeing all the memories from earlier this year.
We wanted to hear some new perspectives on what all happened this year, so we interviewed our principal, Mr. Swain.
Let's take a look.
We have campus life questions. So the first one is, what was your favorite thing to do this year so far?
Man, I love the beginning of the year. I think it's an exciting time for everybody. 8th graders get to be 8th graders, and now feel like you're empowered and you're in charge. 7th graders aren't 6th graders anymore, and so that's a little bit. And then 6th graders come in with this wide-eyed look, and they can't wait to decorate their lockers. And do I get to put a chandelier in my locker, and shelves, and carpet, and wallpaper, and oh, I get a locker, and how do I find my way around places, and all these cool things that they have available to them that they didn't have in elementary school, and that freedom that they get that they've never had. And so my favorite part of the year is always the beginning of the year. My least favorite part of the year, which you didn't ask me that question, but I'll answer it anyway, is this time of the year, because it's really cool to see 8th graders having grown up from 6th grade to 7th grade to 8th grade and really start to take those leadership roles and be mature and have taken on the leadership role on the campus, and then they're gone and we have to replace them with a new set and start working that again. So yeah, that's my two favorite and least favorite time of the year.
Nice.
Okay, so what have you done to impact the school overall?
Well, hopefully in the role of principal, I've done a lot of stuff to impact the school. I think my main job, year in and year out, and two of my main jobs as far as the impacting of the school goes, is who do we hire and who do we bring in to teach. My primary goal is to be the instructional leader on campus, which means going to classrooms, looking at classrooms, seeing what's working, seeing what's not working. We are very, very fortunate here at Chisholm that we have such outstanding teachers. We don't have anybody on this campus that I worry about instruction-wise. Can we all get better? Absolutely. I can get a whole lot better at what I do. But that's a growth thing, and as long as everybody's in the mindset that we need to just keep working to make it better, that's kind of the piece. And the other side of that is the kind of the community and culture and climate piece of my job. A lot of times when parents are upset, they call me, and oftentimes I have no idea why they're mad. They're mad at somebody else or something else that I had nothing to do with. And how do we handle that with grace and listen to their concerns, help them out. Kids come to me all the time complaining about this, that, or the other. How do I help listen to them, help them understand why we do something a certain way? Or, hey, you're right, we need to change that. And we've made some changes around here based on some feedback that I've gotten from kids over the last couple of years. And so, my two biggest pieces that I think really wrap up, what I've done this year is really making sure we have the right people teaching y'all, and making sure that we have the community support through all the different things that we do.
Yeah. Okay. So what advice do you have for incoming 6th graders?
Hold on, it's a fun ride. No, really. Don't worry about things. I tell them, I always go and do choice sheets with them. And I always tell them, don't worry about getting stuck in a locker. You're not going to fit. Trash. I've never seen a kid stuffed in a trash can, a 6th grader in a trash can. And your lockers are kind of cool because it's your own little personal space. And so, I taught 5th grade for a long time, and I used to tell my 5th graders all the time, you just wait till you get to middle school. Those teachers are not going to put up with this stuff that you do in here. And the reality is our 6th grade teachers are awesome, but they're a lot like 5th grade teachers, and they're going to help them make that transition and process through everything that's different. 7th grade, as y'all know, gets a little harder, and 8th grade, as you know, gets a little bit harder and a little less holding your hand as you move through middle school. Much more, we got to get you ready to move to the high school level. So, really, the biggest advice to 6th graders is just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. You're going to have fun. Yes, you're not going to know where you are the first couple of days, but you'll figure it out. And just know that 8th grade is going to feel that same way next year when they're walking into Round Rock High School with 17 buildings and 1 million square feet under roof.
All right. When I was in 6th grade, I saw an 8th grader get dropped into a locker. Like, they were being carried through the halls, and they just, got dropped into a trash can. Not a locker. Trash can.
Trash can?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen a 6th grader in a trash can. I have seen an 8th grader in a trash can, but not a 6th grader.
I saw a kid pushing his friend in a trash can down the hallway. and he's screaming from inside the trash can, "Go faster!" I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Awesome.
what would you like to change about this campus next year?
Wow. We're always looking to get better. One of the things that happens as principal that when I was assistant principal I didn't do as much of is you really have to be very forward thinking and think about what's the next thing we're going to do or what's the next step of improvement we need to make. And I've been reading this book. It's called Be Our Guest, and it's written by the Disney Corporation. And it's basically how Disney does Disney. They have a culture statement that they live by. Their statement is essentially, and I can't ever remember it right off the top of my head, but it's essentially we entertain all people of all kinds all over the world. And it's got me thinking, what is Chisholm Trail Middle School's culture statement? And so one of the things that we're going to do as the staff next year before school starts is we're going to develop a culture statement for our campus. And like Disney's culture statement, Disney's statement is designed that it doesn't matter who's in charge at Disney. It doesn't matter, trends come and go, things come and go. If your ultimate goal is to to give people the best entertainment that you can possibly give them all over the world, well, that statement's never going to change. And so my desire is, as the staff comes together to do this, and it's not going to be Mr. Swain's culture statement, it's going to be the staff's culture statement and our core belief, this is what we believe about Chisholm Trail Middle School. And I think that, if you ask me these same questions next year, I think that will be the biggest difference that we've made this year. Because I think if you have a culture statement like that, everything refers back to that. So if a kid's behavior in the hallway isn't what it needs to be, and I call the kid in and say, that's our culture statement, how does that behavior live up to that culture statement? Or a teacher and a parent are having a disagreement, and if I come to the table and say, okay, this is our culture statement, how does both sides of your argument go to what that culture statement says? And I think it's just a way to kind of unify the campus in underneath one belief system. And sneak peek, if we get this, once we get this statement done, one of the things a lot of the middle schools have done is inside those double doors when you come in the front door, a lot of schools have taken in that second set of doors, they've put a logo up across the door so you can't see in but you can see out. And I kind of have the idea of doing that across the door, but if we have this culture statement defined, put above the doors through these doors, and then the culture statement across the doors, so that everybody, when they walk in the door the first time, sees that's what they believe when I walk in those doors. This is what teachers believe about kids. This is what kids believe about themselves, and really make that a focal point of what we do.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
We hope you enjoyed seeing another point of view about this year.
We had a great time creating this video, making the yearbook, and interviewing Mr. Swain. We hope you love your yearbooks and have a great summer, Cougars
And future dragons!